Okay, we're live. The news is about Florida and the hurricane. I hope you all over there are doing well. It's been flooding all over the world for the past few days. So I hope you have shelter, you have food and water, and you and your family are all safe and together. In minutes, we're about to start. So it's now trying to set up the stream and everything. Mm. To the Telegram so we can start real quick. So, Asia session. You see, trading Asia session from all over this place of the world, from this side of the world, is actually not a preferable thing to do, especially on a long term. You can do it within a few times, like once in a while. On moves that you'd want to anticipate or to move that you've been anticipating. But going into the chart to get solely to trade Asia session when you are from this part of the world, when it is currently 12:49 a.m. but it's good. So let's start real quick. So we had the price of liquidity from Monday's stream where we indicated after price indicated this breakaway gap here while failing to come below this lows here after rejecting this lows here. Now we had this breakaway gap and then price rally to buy side. Now it has been all of this now has confirmed that it is a bullish price action on this 1 hour time frame. So when you go to the lower time frame, so you're just looking for a quick scalp because we are currently at buy side. So when you go to the lower time frames, like let's stay in the 1 hour and look deeper. The last time I was playing the song over here while we were live, I guess the song was too louder than the actual stream, the actual voice that was coming out. So if you did enjoy the song, that's a plus side for you. But if you did miss hearing my voice as clear as you would expect, that's why you get ready get this for free. So it be like that some of the time, so you don't really stress much about it. So you have this premium week. Now we are indicating the midpoint of it, which is constraint encroachment. So that's the premium week content equipment. Let's go to the 1 hour, so 15 minutes. I'm trying to move this by side. Okay, got it. These 2 weeks are currently close to each other, so the PDRs Pay attention to what I'm about to do now. Now I'll look for the midpoint of those midpoints. The midpoint of those midpoints. Now you take this off. Take this off. Yes, include this midpoint space. This is with targeting. You have to. All of this doesn't really matter, but I'm trying to get precise targeting exit point. So you have this other block here. So we're currently waiting time. The distribution phase for the initial session starts by 8 p.m. So we indicate it actually starts earlier than 8 p.m. It starts by 7:30 p.m. 7 to 7:30 p.m. within the first 30 minutes before this distribution phase. So we indicate the close of it. So within this time window is where we're expecting price to retrace and go to our intended direction. So you should always remember the element switching setup every time you are approaching a body of price action. So here we have this imbalance here on 15 minutes. Can further calibrate this to this. So we have about 4 minutes to the time. Yo, easier. Yo, I'm currently using the laptop microphone before we get the actual microphone from the mail. So that should have been here today, but it's been delayed. But that doesn't, it's not a cost for posting this program that has been pre-scheduled already. So you do not necessarily need to hear my voice to understand price action. You can just learn by watching real time price action. Alright. So I'm only giving out a logic, not a trade signal. So just watch and understand. Alright. When the mic comes, we will have more conversation, much clearer conversation to be made. On today, we are currently using this medium. I would want it to come to this rejection block because it is the likely PDRA and during this time window. So that is it. We should take some partials above this premium level here and take final position out of it here. I'm trying to add a take profit here. These are actually in the contracts, the in contracts is more easier to scale out. Because now I'm trying to place a buy limit order. Create new order. No, this is wrong move. trying to place a buy limit other year, not this year. But we leave this. She's come here and buy limit. The spreads here are then even when you do account for spread, they still their own. Alright, so we're trying to see if these lows get violated. So the low here of this candle, this down close candle is 5,788.1. The low here is 5,000. So these are relative equal lows, meaning this low didn't violate this low. So we trade it down to the equilibrium of this imbalance here. So I want to see if price supports, if price uses this speed that is here as a support to come for these buy stops here and eventually up here. And moreover, our buy limit wasn't triggered here. No idea why. But let's say our price moves away from this position. So if the mic is bad, it's because I'm not speaking directly to a microphone. I'm speaking to a laptop. So bear with me to get a better laptop. Sorry, to get a better mic. I already placed an order for it. And from the review, I heard the mic cancels too many sounds. Hopefully, it doesn't cancel out my voice when I'm trying to communicate with you. But it is currently acting extremely slow here. Please do not take any trade from me as a signal service. Just we're just taking price and just reading the nature of the algorithm. That is all. So I'm currently working with this rejection block now to see how this rejection block does reject price from going higher. And I want to see speed higher because a rejection block price shouldn't stay too long inside of it for too long. Where is the rejection block? Okay, it was the direct entry of it. Okay, it was directly at our entry. Let's make the sticker. Let's make this more thicker. This better. So I'd love to see price PS here and use this up close candle as a mitigation block. So the buyers that bought here, they will take off their position here so that they will not be in a loss. You see, smart money, they do not lose. This is their playground. This is their board. The house always wins. So you have to accept this because that is how the game works. So when you understand that smart money does not lose, so you get to understand how they think, and in that way, you yourself you get to understand how to utilize this knowledge for yourself and for your family, because there's a lot of things that you're going to find out that is correspondence with the real world from this chart. So that way, you can then, if you like, transpose the knowledge. This liquidity void is a suspect. Why was there a void like this here? This void, okay, it was the close of New York session. That was New York session's close. See, our buy limit was not triggered yet till now, but we don't mind. We're trying to see speed above here. We want to use this up close candle as a mitigation block here. This is the up close candle I'm trying to talk about. So we're focusing on the body. So this up close candle, want to see it become mitigated. Let's make this green. Mitigation block. So from, even if you are a private student, I would advise you, if you are currently watching this, I'd advise you also keep up with the public channel, because there's a lot of things that I will discuss on the private settings that I'll emphasize here. But when I'm emphasizing it here, the people that are not privy to our earlier discussion, they will not understand what I'm currently emphasizing. So that's with that I'm trying to emphasize something for you. Currently on the general group, I posted something to study. A lot of the general students like will likely not study it apart from a very handful of people. But for you private students, it is directly for you to study because it is what we did on the previous live stream. So you have to use those screenshots and you tailor it with your chart. You mirror it with your own screen and understand the idea by yourself, because anything I say, any idea I try to share with you guys, if you yourself do not go into the chat to verify it by yourself, it's just you listening to a random person online that tells you that this is how something works, and you just go ahead and listen to that person, which is not an indication of a free thinker. I do not like our price rejected from this up close candle here, because I would want to see this up close candle become violated and be used as an inversion, as a mitigation block, that it is like an opposite of other block. So that's what I would want to see here. But we are currently not getting it because of this lethargic price action. But this represent comes in, so we have to wait. We are waiting patiently to see how the algorithm prints. Let's, while waiting, peep the 1 minute time frame. We are not going to participate or take any actions from this 1 minute. We're just taking a peep, a quick peep. So that this buy stops here. This was again. I do not like how we're having body close below this constant encroachment of this mitigation block. I would want us to break it and then come back lower. And as you can see here, you have a breaker, lower, high, then lower, low. So I want this to act as the breaker if this mitigation block fails to prevent price from going higher. So I just patiently watching and waiting for price to act as it wants to do. If we get a break above this high, I would add a position here at this high of this candle, which is a proportion block. But we would want to wait and see how price prints. Price action is currently moving extremely slow. But these are the Asian session trades, unlike the New York session or sometimes the London session, which are more violent compared to this session. This session is more peaceful because it is you have less likely manipulation in price. It is more the algorithm being allowed to trade on its own, but with lower volume because most of the market players are sidelined during this time. So we've currently spent a quite amount of time here, which is unfavorable to our trade idea. Let's see. Currently don't like how Spice was respecting this equilibrium and going lower. This already made this a balanced price range, which is not something that I like when expecting higher prices. But get to see. I need to see this high get violated violently so that this can become a break, a breaker. And when it does this, it should leave a fair value gap, which is an imbalance. When it violates this high and goes above this mitigation block high, I want to see violent price action. That is the eye I'm trying to look out for. These thick bodies. See, just got to the eye and rejected it. I would want to see it violently leave it. Like, do not spend too much time playing around there. Just leave it. Our buy limit failed to get triggered there, which is we are currently used to price action treating us like that. currently trading inside of the breaker here, which is the mitigation block on the 5 minute time frame. We are just here looking at the 1 minute time frame to see more skeleton behind what's going on behind the curtains on this asset. Would likely she will fail to violently break this high, which is not something I like. But let's see how it goes because we've already validated this high, so it's an indication of a bullish price action. But we didn't violate this high as much as I would like, but that's by the way. So let's indicate this here. So we have this fair value gap here. FEG. A fair value gap on the 1 minute time frame inside of a mitigation block on the 5 minute time frame. What are the odds? But we do not want to see price value this low here because this low now is the low that rebalance this imbalance here. But I don't like how this low validated this low here. This is what you get during Asian session. A lot of if this then that violating each other. Let's see what the 5 minute time frame is doing. Currently spending too much time in this mitigation block, which is this up close candle, and that's not something I like to see. I like to see quick price action, but I'm already too used to. Oh, our limiter that got triggered, so I already got used to the idea of fast paced price action. So we have a high here, we have another high here, then we have our final terminus, which is this high here. And before we get to terminus here, we already have all of these PDRs here. You have the midpoint of this, which is a gray pool, and the midpoint of those midpoints, which is an infinite gray pool. Is like you will not get it. So we're trying to see how price chase to this liquidity void if it does, because there is no price action here, and we offered buy side here and then offered buy side again. It is sufficiently lacking in sell side delivery, so I would like it to go higher here and use it as a support to take price higher. That is if we are indeed going for higher prices. So we're still watching to see how price treats those levels. I like how price treated this rejection block here. So I want to see if it does in fact wants to reject it to the opposite end. Yeah. I don't want to see price violate these laws here. If you don't violate these laws, it is problematic for narrative. So these laws is like our main point of invalidation currently. Was the other law violated? So now for the buyers here, they will get a mitigation here to mitigate their loss position, their impending loss because this loss 88.1, 88.1, and then under 88.1. That's the Messi price action. I don't like how we came back to this rejection block here because price already rejected on the 5 minute time frame here at 8:03. But let's stretch this out. So we have our entry on the rejection block. The first PDR we don't want to see violated, which is this consequent encroachment here. This is on the 5 minutes. This other block on the 5 minutes time frame, and also this the low of this imbalance here on the 5 minute time frame. And one thing, I barely look at the chart. Anytime the chart is open, I barely look at the chart while I'm trading. Except there's a, except I'm not focused on chart, on probably any work on the chart at that moment, then I can interact with you. But apart from that, just keep all of your questions for the Telegram group. That way we can interact better way and understand ourselves. Because likely if you are trying to put something out on the chat, it's more likely because you're not paying attention to what I'm showing you here. You're much focused on chatting. Think this is social media. You're on YouTube, you think you're in social media. I here to learn. This is like a school for you. Except you treat this as a school and treat it as it actually is, what its job is doing for you. You can never become serious with this craft. So you have to be serious and treat it as a school. Treat it as your school, like you're here to learn and take it serious. Don't half-ass it. You guys just half-ass everything like it's, I don't understand. You cannot learn any of this in 5 minutes. It's not possible. There is a lot of time. There's a lot of studying time and chat time that goes into this. That if you not go, you know go know. That's just the easiest way I can put it. If you yourself do not come to test all of this, there's no way you can actually understand the severity of these bad actions of these candlesticks. You might just think it's just play, it's child's play. You might not take it as serious as you should. So all of this bad action is just bullshit to me. So I'm not really interested in staying long here. So I'll move my stop loss to the second invalidation point here. This is an extremely boring session. If you like excitement, you shouldn't be trading this type of session. It will kill you, literally. You see how this high of this mitigation block is being protected as a resistance. Let's move this. Okay. We have this high here, there's a liquidity pool high here. So what we'd like to see our price come above here. Want to see the speed at which it does this. If we can get a quick rally above this high here, then we have solidified our idea as a bullish idea being valid, because currently we are still in troubled waters. We are still around the mitigation block and coming off of that mitigation block on the 5 minutes. So this is why we are having this type of price action like this. So it can become as choppy as it gets. This is to weed out traders on both sides of the market, on buy side and also on sell side, but not necessarily us, because we are not placing our stop losses below old lows and above old highs. You guys are far beyond that. I don't expect any of you here to be placing your stop losses above old highs and below old lows, because you already know that that is what the others does. I want to be doing exactly opposite of what they do. So they place their stop losses above old highs and old lows. Who and we will place our stop losses at logical invalidation points, probably below a higher time frame PDRA or below multiple PDRAs, because three PDRAs are the standard support structure for an actual support and resistance level. So when you have three PDRAs supporting your trade idea, it is of higher probability and your stop placement will be more accurate than you placing your stop loss just at random levels. So we've spent too much time here, which is actually a lot for me, for someone that trades the New York session most times of his earlier career. But it be like that most of the time, so you just have to look around and adapt to what is going on currently. We spend too much time here. We won't get to this buy stop. We should be offloading most of our positions, because we've already spent too long on that mitigation block. Èmi ò kéré o, èmi ò kéré, èmi ò kéré o, sọ fún láwọn bẹ̀, láwọn bẹ̀, láwọn bẹ̀ ní kankan. Uzaza Olúwa Uzaza, Uzaza Olúwa Uzaza, Olúwa Uzaza, Uzaza Olúwa Uzaza. In this part of the world, there's a very messy trend with, let's say, influencers in quote, because most likely they are not influencers. Some of them do not identify themselves as influencers, even though that's what they are. But back to it, the main point. You see, you guys actually think that. So I lost my chain of thought. I was talking about how was like kind of prevalent here from this part of the world. So you have Easterners, Westerners, and others, Africans trying to sound Western, trying to distort their accent to fit a pole, an invisible pole that they see in their head. Then, as time goes by, you lose your own identity because you sound your sound your sound does not match. Like you should find your sound in every part of the world, in every sense of the word. Your sound also, how you speak. How you speak is extremely valuable. You should learn how to speak in your own tongue as clear as possible. It doesn't matter how your accent sound. It doesn't matter how stupid you sound. I'm not talking about stupid you sound being used spilling out stupid things. I'm talking about if you have a weird squeaky voice or your voice is too deep or whatever. Things you cannot control. You do not care about all of those things. Oh shit. So we are not currently focused on here. We are currently focused on here. So our eyes are currently looking at buy side. We are seeing if price is still likely to come for this buy side liquidity. So all of this here is just distortion and manipulation and time wasting. So it's trying to like weed everybody out. Who needs weeding out should will be weed out here. This is the high that we've been waiting for this move to pierce. We would want to see this high be pierced. Else, these clean lows are suspect lows. This is why we've moved our stop loss here. These lows are too suspicious. I know I just say we do not put our stop losses below old lows or above old highs, but I'm just illustrating something to you in understanding a choppy price action. This doesn't mean that physically our stop loss has been moved here. We're just moving it here on this trade here because it's taking much time than it should. So it's either something that you cut off now or you just lower your risks. So we could just easily cut off the trade here or lower the risk, but we're trying to see all of this play out. So at this point in time, they should mitigate their loss. The sellers here, they would have mitigated their loss here and likely change position to a buy position because of this buy side liquidity here. This buy side liquidity is what we are currently interested in. This ultimate buy side liquidity. We first have this minor buy side here and also this major buy side. You there for my soul? Wherever you are, girl, that's all come on. Oh, girl, I want to be dancing with you forever. This is our start, take me outside. Baby, it's magic and it's all together. Just a moment, I'm trying to check something real quick. So I'm going to currently reverse my position and move my stop loss. Yeah. There's a reason why we switched narrative to a bearish narrative, but I expect okay, it's kind of more complex than this. So if you look, the close of this candle is 5,792. The high of this candle is 5,792.1. So this candle chased to this rejection block here, which is this high here. And now if you can see this high now fails to take this high. Yeah, that means it is lazy. It is being unwilling to go higher. Yeah. Even though we had those liquidity pools there. But the storyline from what price is currently telling, that's what we're following. That's what I'm trying to illustrate with you guys now. So now when you have something like this now, you are waiting to see a clear one-sided direction in price, which it has not given yet. We're currently using this limited information now to trade because we entered on the basis of waiting for the time window to enter for us to get a continuation distribution, or the continuation reaccumulation of that distribution phase. So we want to see how price reacts around here. So we have these lows here. We also have all of these scanty lows, and then we have this imbalance. So what was the logic for our stop placement? The midpoint of this liquidity void, this high here, we have imbalances here, and here is the midpoint of that grey pool. So we move our stop loss there because of the inconsistencies in price here. This is the kind of price action you get for Asia. This is why traders, smart money traders, likely stay away from this session. Doesn't mean it doesn't trade. The algorithmic theory does in fact work. It's just that the readings are extremely, the data points are extremely small. Just imagine from this low to this high, it's about 3.5 handles. To this buy stops here, it's 4 handles. So from here to this buy stops here are 4 handles. So we made use of this mitigation block here to mitigate these sellers here and price rally higher. So we reversed based on a simple logic there which confused and change our initial logic. But that doesn't mean, hold on. So what gets to this place now, I have to mitigate this loss here because I'm not expecting price to likely reach any of these highs or lows because we have currently entered into a 50-50 scenario because we have that buy stops here, we have this buy side liquidity resting above here, and then you have sell side liquidity resting below here. We have now entered into a 50-50. We have buy side liquidity resting here, and we have sell side liquidity resting here. So when you've entered into a 50-50 scenario and you've identified it, you step out of the marketplace. First, you start by cutting out your lost short, then you pull back, right? So now we're looking for a mitigation to this place to mitigate the low, to mitigate the loss. But let's say it goes because this midpoint now goes very poor, which is a likely draw for our long target earlier. But because we've entered into a 50-50 scenario, we are trying to stay flat. You see our price is spending too much time here. This is not the kind of price action I want to be in because it gives too many rooms for multiple interpretations, which is not the kind of settings we like to be part of. We like to be part of price action that goes one direction instantly. So those are the type of price action we want to be part of and want to be familiar with those kind of price action. Okay, okay. This high has been taken. That means we're coming for this high there. So I have to manually close this position now. Even though I believe we'll likely come purge out this lows here then before going further higher. But it will be a slow session. It might probably elapse to the other hour. So and I'm not about to keep this stream longer than an hour. We've already been live for more than an hour. So I will see you guys tomorrow and hope you learned something and have nicely. First, let me close this trade position. It's better to cut a loss short than to just take out this buy stop here and then come back for the lows here. But I'm not interested in anything price